Hey guys, this is PK News back with another news item. So there's a positive make in the Pakistan budget. The foremost concerns of the average Pakistani today are the availability and affordability of food, essential and opportunities for livelihood in a COVID impacted economy. So a lot of people are concerned that, everything that is essential to living is really expensive these days. So the country needs to meet a two for the objectives, balance the external account, and raise funds to invest in socio-economic development as well. The finance minister addressed all these issues in this speech today or yesterday. This is Make in Pakistan budget, Make in Pakistan, which the Pakistan Business Council has been advocating. It's not just about manufacturing, it covers maximizing agriculture yields, now more relevant for food security and affordability. We are a net importer of food items today and commodity prices are rising, hence self-sufficiency is critical. Make in Pakistan. It's also about deploying our large population in exportable services with special focus on IT. The budget speech addressed these important facets, first recognizing that there is already a disproportionate disproportionate burden of tax on industry. The budget proposes new taxes on it. It is also framed to trigger growth of business from which higher taxes will flow. That is a win-win for industry and the growth as well. The remainder of the tax revenue target will come from the use of technology and tougher enforcement in retail and wholesale, and from measures to stem smuggling and illicit trade. Nothing new in that. I mean, this is the kind of thing that we actually hear every year. The remainder of the tax revenue target will come from the use of technology. This will help broaden the tax base and level the playing field for the formal sector. Minimum tax on turnover, which is fundamentally flawed, and withholding taxes, which require a manual to understand, will be rationalized, albeit in phases. SEZ enterprises entitled to tax holiday will now also be exempt from minimum tax, which they should have been in the first place. Reduction in withholding taxes on logistics and warehousing will bring down the cost of supply chain. Exemption from withholding taxes on electronic collateral receipts of agriculture produce will help reduce the role of middlemen and improve farm incomes. Cascading tariffs and duty reduction on input for 16 different industries, including high export and import substitution potential sectors such as pharmaceuticals, food processing, chemical, steel, tourism, electronics, and value-added textiles is a positive move. The auto industry will benefit from relief of small cars. The 1% final tax regime for IT industry in common with the export of goods should allay the concerns that existed for income tax credit. Also, NPR's powers to issue show cause notices and commence inquiries are being curtailed. Tax returns simplified, self-assessment revived, and independent audits to be introduced. These are important confidence building measures. The threshold for SME taxation is being raised to support their growth. Of course, improved supply is pointless if demand remains soft. Fortunately, the increase in minimum wages, higher pay of government employees, and higher PSDP spend will help create demand for goods and services. This should have a positive multiplier effect as well. No budget is perfect and no single budget can cure all the ills of the past. This budget is no exception. For a country with investment level half that of neighbors, the tax credit on investment in plant and machinery has not been restored. Surprisingly, also despite the finance minister's agreement, the formation of a group needs to be encouraged to widen shareholding and investment. The protection previously provided to prevent double taxation of inter-corporate dividends has not been restored. Most development, most developed and developing countries provide this protection. APR is aware of it, as should IMF. FATA and PATA have been exempt from levy of FED, ostensibly to encourage investment. So some of the points are good in the tax, in the new budget, especially about the cars, that the tax on the cars is going to be reduced, and they're actually promoting something that is made in Pakistan and trying to curtail. the import as a whole. So which is going to be a good thing. So overall, this is a positive budget. The litmus test of it succeeds, however, is the speed with which jobs and disposable incomes rise and how quickly the cost of essentials decline. For industry too, inflation remains a threat that could result in a higher borrowing cost. So anyway, let's just see what happens with the new budget, if it's going to be a workable plan for Pakistan or not. So if it does, I'm definitely sure I'll let you know on the channel here. With that, PK News signing out. You have a nice day. Thank you for listening and watching.